selling.
Right, Raj. Please do stay on with us. Mr. Narayan, I want to come across to you again. You have been mentioning how there is a need for crowd management, and especially when there are areas where people gather in large numbers, and since there was no admission fee, there would be a large crowd coming to such areas like a temple or to a rally. And however, don't you think that even civil public society needs to understand that if you are crowding over there, there might be some unfortunate incident, because in the videos that are coming to the fore, there's utter chaos, sir.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, actually. But you see, public consciousness is not what it should be in our country, unfortunately. This incident happened in Visakhapatnam, which, Mr. Naidu, the techno-savvy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, wants to make Visakhapatnam the business capital of Andhra Pradesh, just like Bombay is the commercial capital of India. So a lot of things are going to happen in Visakhapatnam. The Google has just announced a $15 billion investment in that area. And so many other companies are going to open up. The population of Visakhapatnam or Vizag is going to shoot up by several times in the next few years. So this is all the more the reason why security arrangements for gatherings like this are made adequately. I have attended meetings in Vijayawada with Mr. Naidu and Rajnikant and Balakrishna, but there were lakhs and lakhs of people, but they were so disciplined. There was no, kind of stampede, presumably because the Telugu Desam Party volunteers were involved in maintaining law and order in that kind of situation. Maybe, at the administration of temples in this country or stadia or whatever, they should consider requesting volunteers to get involved in maintaining queues and how many people should be allowed inside a temple at a given point of time, and that kind of thing. They need to work out something so that such unfortunate events do not occur in our country again.
Absolutely. And Mr. Narayan, we had earlier heard TDP MLA Mr. Raju actually speak about how this was a private run temple, this was newly constructed, and they also had to seek permission when they thought that such a large number of people would be coming and visiting the temple on Ekadashi.
That's absolutely true, but I think if it is a new temple and everything must be new in that area, the people who are running the temple may not have had any idea about the number of people who are going to throng the temple on this particular day. But in a country of 1 crore Hindus, there are thousands and thousands of temples across our country, and on Ekadashi day or any other day considered holy by Hindus, you can expect thousands and thousands of people to flock to temples. So it is very important for the maintenance of law and order. In the police should get involved, of course, but I would favor the temple administration requesting volunteers to come and get involved in maintaining queues and so on. So I think that would help in future situations of this kind.
Absolutely. Sir, do please stay on with us. We have some more inputs. We'd like to introduce to our viewers visuals continue to come in depicting the tragedy that unfolded at the Sri Venkateshwara temple in Andhra Pradesh. The latest visuals actually show sheer chaos as bodies of the injured and the deceased can be seen on the ground. The visuals also show people trying to revive those on the ground by performing CPR. On your screens, viewers, you can see over there that narrow stretch of road and so many people just making their way to that temple and hence this tragedy of such a large scale actually unfolded over there. You can see people actually moving the injured into the vans, that everyone is trying to help out however they can in order to make sure that the critically injured receive treatment in time. So clearly on your screens, viewers, you can see those screens. Mr. Narayan, I'd like to rope you back into the discussion. We are seeing really heart-wrenching visuals that have come from the ground. We can see people actually climbing on top of each other and trying to make their way from that narrow, we have queue lines, those narrow stairs where people are trying to actually climb on top of each other. Some people are seen on the ground, their relatives are trying to perform CPR. A very, very heart-wrenching visuals coming from there, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one more reason why I think the governments or the authorities concerned should not give permission to build temples in narrow areas. You should always take it for granted that places of worship, have a huge space to accommodate a large number of pilgrims or devotees who show up to, offer their prayers or worship God, so on and so forth. So if this is built, the access to the temple is through a narrow lane and all that, that's very disappointing and unfortunate. That at least in future, no permission should be given to any temple unless there is adequate land available to build the temple and also to access, allow the access, like Akshardham in Delhi, or the Tirupati temple, or so many other temples in the country. So that there is, space for entry and space for exit and orderly behavior and all that. Unfortunately, discipline is not one of the plus points of Indian people, particularly the people who come from lower rungs of society, who are great believers in praying to gods on holy days like Ekadashi and all that. I think that is one more lesson that needs to be learned, that never give permission to build a temple in an area which is crowded. You should build temples in open area, and you should always expect that thousands and thousands of people will flock to those temples on auspicious days. In Tirupati, on an average day, you have a lakh of people flocking to the temple. On Ekadashi, I don't know how many people are going to show up, but this would be the case in thousands of Hindu temples across the country. So one more lesson I think we need to learn is that don't allow construction of temples in crowded areas. Build them in an area where there is adequate space for thousands of people to gather, so that there are no incidents or no stampedes of this kind happen in future.
Management is the need of the hour, like we have been mentioning. However, really tragic visuals are on your screens over there, viewers. You can see people trying to revive those who have fallen on the ground. You can see people also administering first aid on the spot in order to make sure that the critically injured actually receive some aid before they are sent off to the hospitals for further treatment. On your screens also a doctor over there, officials in fact inspecting how they can help whoever has been affected by the stampede. There on your screens, a person trying to perform the CPR. There are people lying on the floor of the temple. We are getting to know that overcrowding at the temple might have been the reason why this entire tragic incident actually took place over there inside the temple premises. People are trying to provide any kind of relief to those who actually fell down, were unconscious. On your screens, visuals where you can see people actually climbing on top of others. A lot of chaos over there. As you can see, a very narrow staircase, and people over here then in fact trying to climb on top of each other in order to move away from that place. To take a look at what exactly went down